Welcome to the Pete De La Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour, hosted by Pete De La Torre, President and CEO of the Renatus Group. The Pete De La Torre Business Program will discuss economic development and business opportunities for South Florida. The Pete De La Torre Business Program is sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank, Titan America, A1 International Realty, the law firm of Reyes Miller, PA, and Remote Books.
Good morning, South Florida. Yes, this is Pete De La Torre. I'm not his brother, Paul. I have a very bad head cold, so the show must go on, the old cliche. But I'm so happy to be here today. This is going to be a phenomenal 2 hours. Some exciting guests, great topics that we're going to discuss. And I'm so glad that you joined us this morning. Let me again let you know that the phone number here, if you want to call and talk to one of the guests or ask me a question, is 305-541-2350. Just another opportunity here. It's a beautiful morning, October 10th, 2012. And I hope that we've turned the tide on this muggy, rainy weather. I can't remember the last time we had a nice weekend. I think we had a teaser a couple of weeks ago, but the rain's hitting again. But I'm hearing now that things are hopefully shifting and we can start enjoying our own version of fall here in South Florida. The Pete De La Torre Business Program is a 2-hour radio show divided up into 2 segments. Hour number 1, from 10 to 11 a.m., is the Entrepreneur Hour, where we do a focus on small business, success stories, and resources available for today's entrepreneur, and along with that, issues that really make an impact on the small business owner. The second hour, 11 a.m. to 12, is the Power Hour. There we focus on the economic engines of South Florida, featuring the large institutions, both private and public, their initiatives and special projects, and of course the movers and shakers of the community. By the way, as you're listening to the show today, if you have a question that you have for me, you can Twitter me at Pete Radio Show or send me an email, info@PeteRadioShow.com. So we definitely want to hear from you. Let me tell you who's on board during hour number 1. First of all, we have a great partnership with Titan America, and we're bringing on some great partners of Titan America as guests. Today we have Mike Rhodes with Homestead Paving, and we're going to talk about concrete versus asphalt. Believe it or not, my friends, there are a lot of things, interesting things to talk about regarding that topic, and as we've been doing the last few weeks, and Mike's going to have some fabulous insights on that particular area. Secondly, we have our Great Florida Bank segment. Of course, as always, Barbara Marcel, Vice President and Director of Marketing, along with Relationship Manager Sergio Ibanez, and one of their clients, Carlos Acevedo, founder of Revive Miami. Yes, we're going to talk about how to revive yourself health-wise, the way that you look, and they're going to be our second guest. And finally, at the end of the first hour, we're going to bring on yet another new sponsor to the show, Yvette Reyes from the law firm of Reyes Miller, and her topic is going to be along the lines of family law, so you don't want to miss that. Of course, we have a second hour. Let me tell you briefly who the guests are going to be. We'll talk more about it towards the end of Entrepreneur Hour here. The first guest, my dear friend Wendy Kalergis, President and CEO of the Greater Miami and Beaches Hotel Association. Second to that, another one of our sponsors, the Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, a past president, Dulce Suarez Resnick, who is with NCF Insurance. Our third guest will be Alex Utgia, Ural Suites Hotel and Residence in West Miami-Dade County, a great location, and we'll talk a little bit about what they're working on there. And finally, at the end of the second hour, we have a good friend of mine joining us here, Bibiana Sarmon, representing the American Cancer Society. She's on the board, and she's going to talk about a very important 5K walk this coming weekend at Tropical Park. So, as you can tell, a full lineup, a lot of great topics. So, to open it up here this morning on the Entrepreneur Hour is a gentleman who is joining us here as a partner with Titan America. His name is Mike Rhodes. He's with Homestead Paving. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning, Pete. I'm doing real well.
You should just see, again, we don't have visuals here, but he's wearing his UM polo shirt, and We were just talking off air here about last Saturday night's the game with Notre Dame, and we're going to quickly put that behind us, right, Mike?
That's correct.
Move from here. They're a young team, and they've
got a lot of potential.
A lot of potential, a lot of growing pains, but we'll go from there. Before we move on, and again, the focus on our conversation this morning here is going to be along the lines of dispelling the common perceptions about concrete from a construction perspective. Now, the construction industry is huge here in South Florida, as we know, and in the country. And concrete is a major component of that industry and everything that goes along with that. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of our conversation, tell us a little bit about yourself and Homestead Paving.
Well, myself, I moved to South Florida in '99 with my family, and we've been here since then in the Homestead area. Homestead Paving's been in business since 1974 in Homestead, and we worked from South Florida, the Keys, Key West, all the way to Kennedy Space Center, where we're currently doing a project with the New Atlantis, where they're bringing it in. So we cover a fairly significant part of the state.
That is a huge undertaking. No pun intended. That's big. But you've also done some work for some of the, not all of the local stadiums here in Miami-Dade County, right?
Just about all of them. We started way back when the Orange Bowl was put in, when Pro Player Stadium was put in. We did a lot of work there. The renovation at Pro Player, the decorative concrete. We were instrumental in doing all the decorative concrete for FAU. We've done a lot with the Marlin Stadium on the exterior, decorative work there. The Homestead Motor Speedway, we did all the concrete there. So we've had our fair share of work down here.
Well, you have definitely left a mark in the community here, especially when we go out and join sporting events. And these are, if you've seen if obviously many of you know what these stadiums are, you've been out there for different events. It's very, very nice work that you guys do. Very, very nice.
We pride ourselves in it, and that's why we've been around for the 35 plus years. Our personnel have been with us in excess of 27 years, all our management personnel. So they take pride in what they do, and there's proof. We have a saying that we're only as good as our last job, so we're always striving to do better.
Well, that's really the spirit of an entrepreneurship and having a small business or a family-owned business. It's really, at the end of the day, you can't compete with the big boys in terms of just really the scope of how large what they do and the impact. But on a local perspective, you're making your mark, and obviously you can see the proof there. Now, getting back to our overall topic, then again, dispelling the common perceptions about concrete and from a constructive perspective. Let's start with the first question I have is something along the lines of speed of concrete construction compared to asphalt, because those are the two differences.
Well, there was common perception that asphalt was always much quicker. It's always been, in the past, more economical as far as the bottom line initial price-wise. But as the petroleum products, the prices increase and that sort of thing, concrete has come into its own. Concrete, if performed by qualified contractors, and there are plenty in South Florida, is as feasible and as quick as asphalt when in certain circumstances. Heavy, long highways, that has a different impact. But when we talk about anything from driveways to cart paths to trails, we're finding that the concrete one lasts so much longer. Asphalt is 5 to 7 years, where concrete's 50.
That's a major difference. I mean, that's 10 times the time there, which is unbelievable. What about concrete for streets and local roads, neighborhoods, intersections?
There's new concepts coming out. In Texas, roller compacted concrete is a new idea. It's taken hold. It's gone into the Midwest, into the East, mid-East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina. They're using this product for communities, for local neighborhoods and municipalities, and it's applied exactly like asphalt with the same type of equipment, and it's just as quick. People are actually getting on top of it and driving on it or walking on it within an hour of placement, and it lasts, what are we saying,
50 years?
Yeah.
That's a great economies of scale. I mean, that's what we're looking for is durability. And, we get caught up so much in the price of something initially. And which is the right thing to do is look at, best price, but price isn't always the quality that you're looking for. And then besides what you pay initially for anything is the durability of whatever that product may be or whatever. And in this case, we're talking concrete. Now, what are the benefits of concrete paving in general, besides the longevity?
The ease of maintenance. There's less maintenance over the long haul. You're looking at starting to possibly maintain at the 20-year mark versus the 5 to 6 year mark. Mm-hmm. You have reflectivity. You don't need as much lighting. So there's that area. There's a heat effect to where it's a reflective versus an absorbable, where the black asphalt absorbs the heat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and and that's an issue we have here in Florida.
No, there's a huge heat sink here.
Now, eventually, concrete does crack. Correct.
That's correct. It will, but if it's installed properly, it's minimized completely. You should have. Florida Department of Transportation has recognized this, and they will not allow cracking at the installation. And we're seeing that you don't have any cracking for 15, 20 plus years if it's done correctly. And South Florida is ideally a environment that allows this construction. You don't have the freeze thaw and the extreme temperature variances that you do in other parts of the country. And the other parts of the country use concrete almost exclusively.
It's just hot here all the time for the most part. So we know what to expect. We don't have those. We definitely don't have the 4 seasons. I always say that our season goes from green grass to almost looking blue to brown looking grass, and it's because it doesn't rain. But the fluctuations are just not the way it is in the rest of the country there. Let's talk about a couple of quick terminologies here. Concrete overlays and something called roller compacted concrete.
Concrete overlays are very economical when it comes to a stable subbase. If there's an existing parking lot or an existing asphalt subbase that has not been deteriorated and beat up, cracked, broken, that sort of thing, you use a concrete overlay, sometimes referred to as white topping. It's the control joints or saw cuts are put in it are smaller in area, but it's easily overlaid and it's got the same longevity as newly placed concrete. So that you're not taking the time to excavate existing material, you're just overlaying it, and it's been very successful. They've done it even on runways throughout the South in Georgia, Tennessee, the smaller craft private runways, and it's worked really well. The roller compacted concrete is a mixture with almost no water, and it's put into a paver exactly like an asphalt paver, and laid down, compacted with a roller, and you're ready to go.
It's incredible the advance of any industry, but now we're talking concrete, and it's like you said, it's it'll crack, but again, it always goes back to how that was installed and the quality and really the expertise. So it's like anything else, of course.
Sure.
Now, what I think is pretty interesting here is I'm going to bring out a couple examples for the benefit of the listeners. By the way, my friends, after the next break, we're going to have here, of course, our Great Florida Bank segment, including Carlos Acevedo, a new entrepreneur, and you don't want to miss his story. He'll be on in a couple of minutes. Let's look at local roads, Brickell Avenue, for instance. We mentioned a little bit about that. That's concrete. Tell us a little bit about Brickell. This is that's a thriving area of Miami. It's the banking center. all of the projects, the condos, everything going on. It's a favorite destination place here. Tell us about Brickell Avenue.
Well, that's concrete pavement. It was originally installed somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30 years ago plus. Has been a major thoroughfare since the inception of Miami. And we're doing some restoration out there right now, but it has gone real well. They've ground the existing so that you're not replacing, so the costs are down, and the end product is you're going to have something that's going to last another 25 years. And you really haven't changed the look. The history is still there, the look. They've evened it out so that it's a little quieter because there's always that noise effect. And that's where they call it a grinding, but they smooth that surface out, even though it's 30, 40 years old, and it eliminates all that.
And there's traffic there all the time.
Oh, it's
so
incredibly
it is put
busy.
to the ultimate test. And you can see the results there. That's a perfect example. And it dispels a lot of myth about concrete. And the thing about concrete, my friends that are out there this morning listening, there are some large concrete facilities here that make concrete here in just South Florida. If there can be a shift, more of a shift to building more concrete roads and utilizing more concrete, you know what that's going to do to the local economy? It's going to give it a stimulus. It's going to help produce jobs.
There's no doubt. And it's all U.S. made. You have Titan America here, and they have a cement producing facility right here in South Florida.
Right in Doral.
Yes, yeah. It's tremendous. And the economic benefit as far as our workforce and whatnot it's tremendous when we look at that.
And that's something that we've failed to look at there. And we're looking at ways at how we can produce more jobs. That is a perfect example right there.
Yes.
To wrap it up here today, share a little story that I thought was pretty fascinating regarding Walmart.
Walmart right now, they are out of course, Arkansas, and they have done a lot of feasibility studies and are currently offering their parking lots an alternative, and they would prefer their parking lots to be completely concrete. One, for the longevity, two, for the economic benefits. And we're finding now that the parking lots are competing with the asphalt parking lots as far as economics and initial costs. So it's really a no-brainer to say. And one of the first is up in Boynton. I think
Beach. Okay.
That they have mandated that it's going to be a completely concrete parking lot. So that's exciting, and in that Walmart is taking that initial step to say, hey, we want concrete. We want something that's going to last.
And we all know the story behind Walmart and the impact they've made to the country as a whole in terms of the retail industry. What is, if the listeners want to get a hold of you and ask you questions, what's the best way to call you?
It's www.homesteadpaving.com or mrhodes, RHODES, at homesteadpaving.com.
Roads, but no pun intended, right?
There you go.
Buddy, thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it there. Thank you so much, my friend. We're going to go to a break now, but when we come back, we're going to do our Great Florida Bank segment, and we're going to talk about, again, entrepreneurship and starting a business. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the Pete De La Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank, Titan America, A1 International Realty, the law firm of Reyes Miller PA, and Remote Books.
Hi, I'm Pete De La Torre, host of the Renatus Business Hour show. Do you hate your bank? Don't care? Are you tired of never being able to contact your banker and getting charged a fee for almost everything you do? Always being in the back of the line? If so, you might want to listen to what I have to say about my bank, Great Florida Bank. Here I get personalized, concierge-style service. And now is a great time to sign up for Great Florida Bank's Merchant Services Mobile Credit Card Processing Solution. Their team will take a look at your processing needs, and if a mobile solution works for you, they'll give you a mobile card reader for free. If Great Florida Bank can't meet or beat your current processing rates, you'll receive $500. And I'm going to share one of Great Florida Bank's best-kept secrets. They never charge customers to use ATMs nationwide. Plus, if another bank charges you an ATM fee, they reimburse that ATM fee anywhere in the U.S. At Great Florida Bank, they take pride in offering personalized customer service and even give their customers their cell number. If you want a banking experience like mine, the Great Florida Bank standard of banking, call my personal banker, Obdulio Piedra, Great Florida Bank's Miami-Dade Market President. Call his cell, 305-514-6450, and tell Obdulio I sent you.
Today, everyone wants to be environmentally responsible, but you can't recycle your way to sustainability. Real sustainability goes far beyond recycling and requires us to consider the three competing factors at work in our world: the economy, the environment, and society. By choosing concrete as your preferred building and paving material, you will achieve sustainable results in all three areas. Concrete's durability allows homes and structures built with concrete or concrete block to withstand Florida's severe weather and keep your family safe within your financial means. Concrete roads and parking lots are also very affordable, have much cooler surface temperatures, and last 3 to 5 times longer than asphalt, providing a much higher value for the money on public projects funded with your tax dollars. Lastly, concrete pavements allow shorter stopping distance in both wet and dry conditions and are reflective, providing safer conditions and better visibility at night for both pedestrians and motorists while using less energy at a lower overall cost. Choose concrete, the material for life. A message from Titan America, one of Florida's leading cement and concrete manufacturers. Visit them at TitanAmerica.com or call them at 954-481-2800. There's a lot of misinformation out there. I wouldn't be surprised to find that you've heard that a foreclosure is sometimes the best option for you. Nothing could be further from the truth. For the vast majority of homeowners out there who are in danger of losing their homes, a short sale represents a vastly superior option. The reality is that a foreclosure is a devastating option. As a real estate professional with the Certified Distressed Property Expert designation, Sandra Fernandez, broker-owner of A1 International Realty, has put together all the benefits of a short sale over a foreclosure in a free report that is available to anyone. For more information, visit her website, a1internationalrealty.net, or call Sandra at 305-385-6400. That's 305-385-6400 to schedule a free confidential consultation. Go and talk with her before it's too late. At A1 International Realty, they are making your home dreams come true.
Welcome back to the Pete Della Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank, Titan America, A1 International Realty, the law firm of Reyes Miller PA, and Remote Books.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Pete Della Torre Business Program's Entrepreneur Hour. And I don't know if we're going to make it through this next segment. We've got some people here that are getting a little bit rowdy on me here, and this is not even happy hour. I can imagine a 5 o'clock show or a 6 o'clock show, but we like to have fun here. But before we move on, I want to thank my first guest, Mike Rhodes, with Homestead Paving. And, my friends, the more that we get into that topic of concrete and asphalt, the more it gets interesting, at least for me. And the fact that we're looking at ways to stimulate the local economy. If we can focus more on concrete here locally, there are concrete producers that will expand jobs and opportunities, and that's something that I think is a no-brainer. It's right in front of us, but we got to look at that very seriously and consider the benefits of that. Now, we have, as always, our weekly segment with one of my, if not my most favorite, definitely my favorite bank. There's no doubt about that, and a great partner of mine in many, many different areas. Of course, great Florida bank. And every week we do a segment. We bring in, of course, La Doctora of Mercadeo, Doctor of Marketing, Barbara Marcel, who's here again. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Pedro. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there today. It's today I'm Paul. I don't sound like Pete. I'm his twin brother.
Twin brother.
Yeah, and but it's amazing what medication will do for you to kind of keep you pushing and allow you to just survive. But today we have, of course, Barbara here, VP, Director of Marketing. We have Sergio Ibanez, who has come back for a repeat performance. Say hello real quick, Sergio.
Good morning, Pete. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for coming. Of course, he's a relationship manager in downtown Miami with Great Florida Bank. And our special guest today, one of the bank's customers, Carlos Acevedo, founder of Revive Miami, which is a fast-rising player in the South Florida wellness scene. And I don't care what age you're at, wellness is at the top of the list. I know for me, it's definitely even at a very higher level. But Carlos, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you for having us.
Well, tell us a little bit about the services of Revive Miami and what you're doing, because I just think it's fascinating. Again, it's a great time to really focus on this, but something that you guys are doing, I think.
Well,
is really
basically,
exciting.
what we focus on is medical weight loss. Everybody always wants to look good, wants to lose weight. As we get older, our hormones, they go diminishing. It's my job to put you back up to optimized level so you can lose weight. Your testosterone levels go low. As men, you sit around and you look at the mirror. You have your love handles are coming out.
What are those?
Muffin tops, right?
Boy, my friend, you got to be real glad that you're not seeing this right now.
So we get your testosterone back up to your optimized level. You feel better. You're stronger.
Will my voice change?
A little bit, and you got a little more hair on your. No, I'm playing. No, you don't. No, you don't. We do testosterone replacement, hormone replacement, and medical weight loss. We do a couple of other services too that you can go to my website and look at it. It's www.revivemiami.com, and there's information on that there.
Tell me a little bit about, and I think this is important here. And there's a lot of business owners and business professionals listening to this right now. Tell us a little bit about your corporate wellness services.
Well, basically, as an owner, you always want to have your employees being sharp and being on point. If they are not feeling good about themselves in the morning, they're not going to perform the way you want them to be. Mm-hmm. So I go in there, I talk to you guys, and I make them feel good. I make them lose weight. I make them feel good about themselves. They sleep better. They're sharper. There's certain hormones that make you think better and a lot sharper, and that's my goal, to make your employees feel good and think better so they could perform more for your company.
Now, you keep mentioning make them, okay? What does that mean to you to make them? I mean, what is it that will, because it's up to the individual at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I could do so much, but as an individual, you're gonna want to. But the moment that you start feeling good, you're gonna want to do it. So I give you that little push, and you got to take the lead as an individual.
Yeah, you got to implement, you got to execute like anything else.
I could give you the tools, and if you don't want to follow them, you're not. It's not gonna.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. And your tools are great because again, this is what it's a big industry, and it's everybody wants to feel good, look good, and
especially in Miami. We're in a city that everyone wants to look good. It's competition. Everybody's about networking and meeting people, and you want to look good. And if you don't look good, if you don't feel good, you're just not going to be happy with yourself.
I think that's a great point, and I want to now pivot into the fact that you guys have been open up for about a year now, right?
This company has been open for about a year. I've been doing this for 4.5 years, but we've opened Revive Miami and Coral Gables for about a year.
You have grown from a small office, okay, to a well-rounded, modern health clinic, okay? We have many folks that are listening this morning that are either new entrepreneurs, new small business owners, or aspiring entrepreneurs, which is a real theme of this hour. And you guys are the perfect example of taking a dream, taking a vision, and making it a reality there, okay? Besides the fact that you've got good tools and good services, I would have to think that the biggest driving force is your passion for this, correct?
Correct. I love what I do. I wake up in the morning and I want to go to the office, and I don't want to come home. Sometimes, my
That's
wife,
not good for your health.
but I like what I do. I like to make people feel good. I like people calling me and telling me, I feel good, Carlos. Thank you. You changed my life. You've done something better. It's a passion. If you don't have the passion, you're just not going to succeed. You have to have a passion for what you do. And that's what, and Revive Miami, everybody in my staff, that's what we have.
Yeah, well, absolutely. They're not. Now, what have been some of the advances in the industry?
Well, a couple of years back, now we have some peptides and we have people, they sleep better, their wrinkles go away, they're sharper.
They just feel better overall, right?
It's an overall feeling that you get. It's just so many things that I could talk about, and we could sit here for 4 hours and talk about. But
now, when someone goes to your clinic, okay, when they say, I'm walking in for the first time today, I'm somebody off the street. Hopefully, you guys will know me when I come off the street.
First of all,
what is a typical process?
You go in there, make an appointment, come in there. We gotta draw your blood. There's nothing we cannot do without drawing blood. I gotta see certain hormones, see where you're at, see where your blood work is at. We get your results. You come back, you see my medical director, the doctor. He looks over it, he clears you, and then you come and you sit down and you talk to me. And I put a protocol together for you for what you want to achieve and for whatever I want you to get your goal to.
Do you think you can help anyone?
Anybody that wants to be helped.
That wants to be helped.
If you don't want to be helped, I cannot help you.
Right. And I think that for all of you that are listening this morning, please listen very carefully here. This is very, very important. There's no magic anything out there. There's no magic solution to anything. But there are great opportunities, great programs, great tools, and this is a perfect example of it right here. And if you don't pick it up, the tool, and use it and apply it, nothing is going to happen. There's nothing magic here. And I like what you're telling me in terms of, we've got all this available, but we can't make you do it. We can't, it's up to you. You're part of it there. It's a 50-50 deal there. You've got to implement, you got to utilize, you got to take your advice, do this, don't do that. And that way you're going to see the results that you're looking for there. And I think that that's absolutely critical there. Now, there's something that you do called hormone therapy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, as we get older, our hormones diminish, anywhere from 10 to 15%. So by the time you're 38, 40 years old, more or less is the typical time that you come see me, your hormones are basically to the floor. You feel tired, you're sluggish throughout the day. So we draw your blood, make sure everything is fine. If not, I can see the hormones and I put you back to the level that you were at 25 years old. Let's say for men, it's testosterone usually. Testosterone. If you don't have testosterone, you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel sluggish. Sometimes erectile dysfunction comes into play. I put you back like if you were 25 years old again. And that's basically...
You're my new best friend.
That's what everybody tells me,
Everybody's high-fiving each other here.
And again, and on my website, again, revivemiami.com, there's a lot more info that you could go into. We could talk about this for hours.
Now, talking about hormone therapy, I think a real widely used one today, and we hear about all the time, it's the HCG diet.
Correct. HCG. That's what we do mostly. That's a weight loss. Basically, it's a hormone produced in the woman's placenta when they are pregnant. It raises your body temperature to a certain level, which is safe, and you start burning calories and losing weight as you go. If you eat the right things and exercise 3 to 8 pounds a week without making a big effort, if you put more effort, you lose more weight.
I've seen people around me that have done that, and you've seen the remarks.
And you keep it off.
Let me, let me kind of change up a little bit of the topic here. As a small business owner, and being in this, I know you've been in the industry 4 or 5 years, but as a business, about a year, a little bit over that. What advice would you give someone that is just starting?
You gotta like what you do. You gotta like what you do. You need to have the passion for what you do. If not, you're not gonna succeed. You gotta be focused. You gotta work a lot of late hours, and you also I also bank with one of the best banks there is, which is Great Florida Bank, and they've helped me out a lot in everything I need as far as business. And I thank Sergio and Barbara for that.
Well, that's a great segue into Sergio here. Tell us a little bit about how Great Florida Bank can help a new small business or an existing small business.
Well, first, thank you, Carlos. Great Florida Bank, what we have, and what Carlos says as well, we have experienced personnel, financial solution officers, employees who can find and help, especially like Carlos, who's starting off in the business, who needs that specific service. And you know what? When you come to our office, you feel good. Just like he's trying to make everybody feel good, you come to us, and we try and treat you like you're part of the family, and you feel good. And it's very important. Once you start feeling that you're in the right place, you're going to be successful. And we have 24 solution centers throughout Miami-Dade, Broward. And we have a dedicated website as well. So if you have any questions, you can go there at www.greatfloridabank.com.
Barbara, do you have a little bit of just something that you guys are doing? I know you have a little project you're working on now.
We have a little project. You mean the project that we're working on?
No, that you have. I think a little mail out that you're having.
Oh, that. Okay.
That's important. Let's talk about that.
Right. We've sent out a direct mail piece about our small business checking account, where we have an incentive, $150 incentive that goes along with it. So we've sent out like 25,000 of these, and we're getting some really good results because, people love to come to our bank. It's like Sergio was saying, concierge style, boutique kind of banking, and we service very, very well. So yeah, the mailing is becoming very, very popular out there. And do you want to mention about October 31st?
Yes. For all of you, of course, that are with us this morning, we have exciting news. 3 weeks from today, Wednesday, October 31st. Yes, it's Halloween.
Yep.
This is not a trick. This will be a treat. Okay. We are going to be doing a live remote broadcast, my show, from the Great Florida Bank's Banking Solutions Center in Doral. What is the exact address, Barbara?
I know it's on 25th Street, but
okay, we're right on the money here. It's on 25th Street.
We'll
I think
get it.
right on. I think it's Northwest 90th Avenue.
That's Hispanic address.
What is it, Sergio?
It's 99th Avenue, Northwest 25th Street, right across from the Miami-Dade Police Department.
There you go.
Yes, I'm in Doral, north of 20. More information will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. But we're going to be doing a live broadcast. My show will be from the Solution Center in Great Florida Bank on Halloween. Everybody's trying to get me to dress up as Larry King. I don't know why, but that's what we have, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. We're going to be bringing on some VIPs from the city of Doral.
And we just invited our new friends, Revive Miami, to come join us.
Yeah,
so
we will be there set up.
Right?
We're gonna have our body composition test free for everybody that goes out there, and we're gonna be talking about what we do more in depth on a one-on-one basis.
Not only will we entertain you, but we're going to take care of you health-wise.
And plus, you can actually meet Pete in person as well as Sergio.
Yeah, all the voices behind, or the faces behind the voices there,
right?
Well, we got to wrap this up, my friends. Before we move on, I want to let everybody know that right after the break, I have a dear friend of mine, Yvette Reyes, who is an attorney. She specializes in family law. You don't want to miss her segment, okay? So stay with us for after the break. What is the best way for the listeners to get a hold of you, Carlos?
You can go to our website at www.revivemiami.com. Our contact information is there, or you can also reach us at 786-536-6739.
I love the name, Revive Miami. That is great. My friend, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Barbara, muchas gracias. Sergio, thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Carlos. And if anybody wants to reach me, you can call me at 305-514-6469. That is my direct line.
That's Sergio from Great Florida Bank. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to bring on Yvette Reyes.
We'll be right back with the Pete De La Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank, Titan America, A1 International Realty, the law firm of Reyes Miller PA, and Remote Books.
Hi, I'm Yvette Reyes of the law firm of Reyes Miller, proud sponsors of the Pete De La Torre Business Program. We are a family and criminal law firm with offices in Miami and Boca Raton. For 7 years, I investigated and prosecuted criminal cases from DUIs to homicides. In 2001, I took my trial experience and applied it to family cases in private practice. I have been serving clients from Gainesville to the Florida Keys ever since with both their criminal and family law matters. At Reyes Miller, we combine our skills as trial lawyers and mediators to create a strategy that works uniquely for you and your specific needs. If you're planning on getting married or divorced, please call us before you take your next step. From prenuptial agreements to divorce, from arrest to restraining orders, and everything in between, we can answer your questions. Please call us for a free consultation. When it comes to legal matters, remember that the best advice is to seek advice. Please visit reyesmiller.com or call me, Yvette Reyes, at 305-663-6565, 305-663-6565.
Hi, this is David Hernandez, CPA. As a self-employed individual, leader of a nonprofit, or a business owner, no success can be achieved without proper organization and the creation of a profitable system. Our remote book system allows you to create a remote cloud office with access and collaboration from anywhere, with multiple monitors and the combination of your internal books, tax preparation books, and financial reports issued by a certified public accountant, CPA, into a single set of books with access 24/7. Remote Books, your opportunity to build a profitable system. Design a remote cloud office with access and collaboration from anywhere, and our accounting, consulting, and tax support to have a complete single set of books. Build your remote book system today by calling 305-707-8007. Calling us at 305-707-8007. Visit us at myremotebooks.com.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. I wouldn't be surprised to find that you've heard that a foreclosure is sometimes the best option for you. Nothing could be further from the truth. For the vast majority of homeowners out there who are in danger of losing their homes, a short sale represents a vastly superior option. The reality is that a foreclosure is a devastating option. As a real estate professional with the Certified Distressed Property Expert designation, Sandra Fernandez, broker-owner of A1 International Realty, has put together all the benefits of a short sale over a foreclosure in a free report that is available to anyone. For more information, visit her website, a1internationalrealty.net, or call Sandra at 305-385-6400. That's 305-385-6400 to schedule a free confidential consultation. Go and talk with her before it's too late. At A1 International Realty, they are making your home dreams come true.
Welcome back to the Pete De La Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank, Titan America, A1 International Realty, the law firm of Reyes Miller, PA, and Remote Books.
Okay, welcome back, my friends. For all of you that have been listening so far, you can tell that we have just a lot of energy this morning, in spite of the fact that I'm a little bit under the weather. But hey, we got to keep fighting here and moving forward. But I got to tell you, a great segment there with Great Florida Bank. Again, thanks to Carlos Acevedo from Revive Miami. Just a great concept, and again, a great need for all of us, and a successful entrepreneur, and a great success story as a small business owner. And of course, my ongoing gratitude and thanks to Barbara and the whole team at Great Florida Bank, and of course Sergio, who was with us this morning. We're on every Wednesday morning here at 10 a.m. on 880 a.m. The Biz. Of course, the only all-business radio station in South Florida. I want to hear from you. Please give me your comments, suggestions for the show. My email, if you want to get a hold of me, is info@PeteRadioShow.com. My Twitter is Pete Radio Show, or at Pete Radio Show. Become a fan of Pete Radio Show Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter, of course, and connect with me on LinkedIn. And I want to hear from you. If you have a question, 305-541-2350. We've heard great information on concrete and the sustainability and the economic impact. We've heard about entrepreneurship so far. And now we're going to talk about family law. And I have a brand new partner of the radio show. She's going to be with us for a while, which is great, and I'm excited about that. And that is, of course, Yvette Reyes from the law offices of Reyes and Miller. So welcome to the show, Yvette.
Thank you so much, Pete. I am so excited to be on this show with you. And wow, what energy you've got going this morning.
I don't know where I've gotten that. I'm sure I'm going to crash about 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm just working on fumes and adrenaline right now.
Well, it seems like you've got great energy going with the people on your show this morning. So
no, it's
awesome.
Terrific. Before we go on, and we're going to have several opportunities to chat, you and I, during the show. For the benefit of the listeners, and it's something I try to do with all my guests, is tell us a little bit about you, about yourself, before we get into maybe some of the topics that we're going to discuss.
Well, I am a family law attorney. I also practice criminal law. I'm a former prosecutor. I'll tell you a little bit about me right now. My firm, Reyes Miller, is located in downtown Dadeland. We also have an office in Boca Raton. And our concentration is on family law. What does that really mean? It means we do divorces, prenuptials, modifications. So sometimes people have to go back and make changes to their agreements about either custody, which they call time sharing, and shared parental responsibility now under the law. Anything related to the family structure, child support, any of that kind of stuff. So that's what our firm does, and that's what we concentrate on, and we handle all types of criminal cases, from DUIs to homicides. So we just have a lot of good stuff happening. I started my career, if you want to know. I know you know, or maybe your listeners want to know. I started in 1995 at the state attorney's office. I had the great honor of working there for 7 years, and like I said, I tried everything from DUIs to homicides, and it was a wonderful opportunity, to make a difference in the community. And when I left and I opened up my private practice in 2001, I said, I really want to make a difference in people's lives. And I found that the natural progression led me to the area of family law, and I really feel like I make a difference for people there.
You were sharing a story with me a couple weeks ago that I think ever since you were a little girl, you wanted to be an attorney, or at least aspired to be a lawyer?
Well, here's the story. I always had an excuse, an answer, a defense for myself or my brothers.
You're a typical kid.
So my parents always said, "You're going to be a lawyer someday." And of course, as I grew up, I realized, wow, what a natural fit, and it's absolutely perfect. I love advocating for people.
Well, you can tell and again, they can only hear you, but you can tell in your eyes and the smile on your face how much you really enjoy what you do, and it's a passion. And I think all of us that are business owners and running a business or whatever we're doing, we got to have that passion behind it. That's what's so really important, more important than ever, to figure out what you really want to do, and then move on that. Absolutely,
I agree with you. I think that for me, my personal belief system is that you've got to live your passion, and I've been practicing now since 1995, and there have been different things that I've considered through the years. And what I realize is that if you really embrace what you're good at and what you're excited about, that the success and the accolades and the sense of personal achievement comes along with it.
Right.
So I embraced being in private practice, particularly in the family law arena. I'm also a mediator, and I'm a consultant as well. I coach people in the area of divorce and parenting as well. And I have to just tell you that what makes a huge difference for me, and I believe for my clients, is the passion and the energy and the commitment that we bring to what we do at our firm.
Now, you are taking your practice to a whole different level now. I know you're making some internal changes, some significant ones, especially becoming almost 100% technology-oriented, driven.
Yes, we have a number of people that we're working with, consulting on how to be the most efficient technologically. The newer generations, everybody's on a computer, on their phone, on an iPad, and how to best use technology, whether it's Dropbox or case management software, whatever the case is, to keep our client information readily available and in a secure way at any time. So if a client wants to check what's the status of something that's pending in their case, that they're going to be able to log in a secure website and be able to access all of that information. So all of that is in the works right now, and we're also hiring someone. Actually, she's starting tomorrow. We're very excited to have a new addition to our firm who's going to be the ambassador of legal and advocacy, basically. We want to make sure that we maintain the best relationship with our clients and that we deliver what we promise.
We got together a few weeks ago, and talk about several things, and you elaborated on this in terms of your clients, and you get you're very good with your clients, and you develop good obviously business relationships, but also you become their friends, and it's unavoidable because of what you do, and the fact that they all want to call you at all hours of the day. They got a question about this, a question about that, and you're one person.
Well, my clients are under the mistaken impression that I don't sleep.
Yeah, that's what I think I got from our talk. Is like I think if you get away with an hour nap, you're lucky, right?
Yeah. So sometimes I get I'll get calls at 11 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock in the morning about stuff that sometimes there are legal consequences, or there are legal things that we need to do.
Right.
But sometimes it's just somebody very, very upset about a situation that's going on. Remember, this is a family arena, so if people are going through a divorce or through modification, it's a very highly emotionally charged time.
Absolutely.
And so, of course, if your lawyer's handling your legal situation, you also want to keep them informed. And so how to create a balance that they're also using our services efficiently. So they don't want to make me the therapist, right? And be paying me, a ton of money per hour to listen to why they're upset at their ex-spouse. So we've created this position to be able to fill that gap and really to offer also more affordable services to our clients and the highest quality of service.
Well, I like that idea of having an ambassador, someone who is a spokesperson for the practice, someone that will communicate the right information. Of course, they cannot give legal advice. We all know that. That's what you're there for. But it's to really be that filter and let those clients know that they're important.
Absolutely. First of all, we care. A lot of my friends are former clients. I mean, you get to know someone's personal life in a very different way than you do if you're handling a breach of contract case, right? Or a bankruptcy matter, or even a criminal case for that matter. When you're handling the family stuff, you're listening to the nitty gritty from, forever. And so you really get to know a lot about people and what they want right now, what they want in the future. So it's easy to become their confidant, but it also, is a difficult process because there's part of it is being there for the client so that they can obviously vent and provide information that they might think is critical. And then we've got to balance that against being able to provide the best legal service. So our ambassador is going to sort of bridge that gap. So if it's really something that needs legal attention, they're absolutely going to have a phone conference with myself or one of our other lawyers in the office. But if it's something where they just sort of need, to talk to somebody about it and they're not sure, then there's this other person, our ambassador, that's available. And of course, they always have access to me by my cell phone, which I give to everyone, and my email address. And sometimes you'll find me emailing someone back at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is...
I've received yours at about that time.
Which is why they think I don't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. I go, let me look at the time. When I can receive this at 2 o'clock. Yvette's having a long day, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is all fascinating to me because, again, this is a very emotional topic, family law. This is not all that you do, obviously, but it's a part of what you do. And when you are dealing with family, it's inevitable. What are the challenges versus at the same time the opportunities in this particular part of your practice?
I gave that a lot of thought in preparation for this show, and I think the greatest challenge, and it's probably facing most lawyers, is, especially in our particular area, is misinformation. It's kind of like kids getting information about the birds and the bees from another 10-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. So people get a lot of their information about the way that a divorce or paternity case or what it means to get a prenuptial from friends, from neighbors, from colleagues.
So-called experts.
Correct. And the scary thing is that, socially we like to share all the drama-laden stories. Nobody calls you up and says, hey, I know a couple that went through this great, easy, and amicable divorce. Everyone shares the high conflict drama cases. So people come in with a lot of fear and a lot of misinformation. A common one is, well, if we have 50-50 time sharing, does that mean that I don't have to pay child support or that my spouse doesn't have to pay me child support? And that's not true. There's a way that child support is calculated, and it takes into consideration substantial time sharing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that one party will not pay the other. It's a formula. So people come in with all sorts of information that's not correct. Then there's a process of educating the client,
right,
and also demonstrating to them why that belief system, first, is not true, and second, it doesn't work for them. And so that's the biggest challenge, because sometimes people then have the misinformation reinforced when they go back home and talk to their parents or their relatives.
It's that thing that one person tells the other one and tells the other, and by the time it gets to the 30th or 40th person, the whole thing is upside down there. So if you want to get the right information, and this today is a beginning of our conversations with Yvette. We're going to have many, many more in the next several weeks. I wanted everyone to get to meet Yvette, get to know what drives her, what her passion is, and we're going to hit up on a lot of these topics and get a little bit more specific as we move forward. But to kind of wrap it up today, for those that are listening, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you? Obviously, we have cell phone and all that, but you know, and between what particular hours are better, you know, or that doesn't exist. Okay.
Really, the best way to reach me is to contact my office at 305-663-6565. We've also opened up an office in Boca Raton, but the best way to reach me is 305-663-6565. They can also email me at Y, as in yellow, or Yvette, Y Reyes, at ramlawus.com, and I will personally respond to them. And I'd really love to know what your listeners are interested in knowing, particularly from, like I said, from prenuptials to divorce. I'd really like to be able to address in the weeks to come whatever your listeners' needs and concerns are.
Absolutely. You can contact Yvette, or you can send me an email that I will forward to her. And of course, my email is info@peteradioshow.com. Yvette, thank you so much. This is a great start here today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I look forward to coming back.
This is going to be great. Well, we're wrapping up now and closing the first hour. I want to thank my guests, Mike Rhodes from Homestead Paving, Carlos Acevedo, Revive Miami, Barbara Marcel, and Sergio Ibanez from Great Florida Bank, and of course, Yvette Reyes. Do not touch that dial. We're just getting started. We are on a handful of minutes after the station break. We will start the Power Hour, and our guests today include Wendy Kalergis, President CEO of the Greater Miami Beaches Hotel Association. Dulce Suarez Resnick, representing the Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies. Alex Uquilla from Eurosuites Hotel and Residence, a new gem in West Miami-Dade County. And of course, a very important event is coming Saturday, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. We have Bibiana Sarmon, who is on the board of there, who will share a little bit about that event coming up. So do not touch that dial. We'll be right back with you after a station break.
Thank you for listening to the Pete De La Torre Business Program Entrepreneurial Hour. Stay tuned for the next hour of the Pete De La Torre Business Program. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Great Florida Bank. Welcome to the Pete De La Torre Business Program Power Hour, hosted by Pete De La Torre, President and CEO of the Renatus Group. The Pete De La Torre Business Program will discuss economic development and business opportunities for South Florida. The Pete De La Torre Business Program is sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and Eurosuites Hotel and Residences.
All right, welcome back, my friends. This is the second hour of the Pete De La Torre Business Program, the Power Hour. I want to thank my guests from the first hour who were with us and gave us some great information, some entrepreneur success stories. We had a great conversation with Yvette Reyes on family law. Of course, she's going to be with us in the coming weeks, talking about her areas where she concentrates and focuses on. And now we get to the Power Hour, of course, where we feature the movers and the shakers of the community, the big private public institutes, and the lineup here. Let me start with a dear friend of mine who's going to be the first one we're going to talk to, Wendy Kalergis, President and CEO of the Greater Miami Beaches Hotel Association, who's going to talk about the hotel industry, tourism in general, and that's just very exciting, all information on that. The second guest is Dulce Suarez Resnick, past president of Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, who's going to focus on a topic regarding commercial and property insurance. Alex Urquilla, one of the main guys at the Ural Suites Hotel and Residence in West Miami-Dade County, a gem in that part of the county. And we'll talk a little bit about what he's doing there and an exciting event that's going to happen. It's going to happen next Tuesday, the 16th. And finally, we'll wrap it up with Viviana Sarmon, a board member of the American Cancer Society, who's going to talk about a very important event this Saturday at Tropical Park, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, a non-competitive 5K walk. So this is not about competing with each other, but it's about participating in a great, great cause. So we'll learn more about that towards the end of this hour here. But without further ado, and God, we've been working on this for the last couple of months, 2, 3, 4 months, who knows. But this is because this lady is very busy. She's very important. She does so much for the community here in terms of tourism and the hotel industry, and just a great, great person to have here. And I'm honored to have Wendy Kalergis with us this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Pete. Thank you so much for inviting me. And for those of you who have never been on the radio, it does look like Frasier, the set.
Yeah, we don't have videos. We will have soon, but exactly. But I'm not a psychiatrist, even though sometimes I have to take people by the hand or get nervous and all that when they're coming live for the first time. But this is a lot of fun. Again, welcome. But before we get into the topics of discussion today, tell us a little bit about yourself, Wendy, and you got a great background.
Thank you, Pete. Well, I grew up in Maine, and actually, Maine is their top industry is tourism. And my parents had 2 restaurants, so my first job at 12 years old was a busgirl in the restaurant. One was on the coast and one was inland. But while I was peeling carrots and chopping celery, I really wanted to go study cooking in France. And when I studied my junior year abroad in Paris, I was able to attend Cordon Bleu for 4 months. And then 2 years after that, I was able to go back to France and study with a group of 6 Americans and a French woman, Madeleine Cayman, who was a wonderful French teacher and chef. And that was a 6-month program.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about you there.
Yeah, I love to cook. I moved to Miami 30 years ago, and at that time I had been cooking in D.C. So my first job actually was at the Pavillon Hotel, which is now the Hotel Intercontinental, and I worked in the kitchen and the Pavillon Grill. And then after that, I really desired to have to work in management. So my career over the next 15 to 20 years was in catering, where I was the director of catering at the Biltmore Hotel, the Mayfair House, the Grand Bay Hotel, and I was food and beverage director at Delano. And at that time, I was averaging 2 to 3 weddings a week and events, and it was a great, wonderful career. And after that, I ran the Miami City Club downtown, which all of a sudden Miami became a small town because most of the members of the club, I did their daughter's or son's wedding, so it was a small, all of a sudden Miami kind of took a full circle for me.
It's such a big city, but yet so small, when you run into people and you make those connections there. So that's terrific. And then I know from there you went on and were the president CEO of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely, and that was my second job on Miami Beach, and I was there for 4.5 years. And as you know, Pete, membership of the Miami City Club, membership at the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, and now membership at the Greater Miami and the Beaches Hotel Association. So we've been working, networking and business together for a long time.
That's terrific, and I know that. With the Greater Miami Beaches Hotel Association, you have brought, it was a great organization, but I really believe that you've taken it to a whole different level because, again, I think you really emphasized the networking aspect of it.
Thank you, Pete.
And the events, I've gone to a handful of them. They're very vibrant, and you do a lot of work. So on that topic, tell us a little bit about what the association does and how long the group's been around, to give us a little bit of a background.
The organization is over 20 years old, and it comprises of 160 hotels, and now we have 250 allied members and allied upgrade members as well. And as you know, the growth of our industry over the last 5 to 10 years is enormous. So one of the things that we do is we meet together as groups in the different municipalities, because all of the hotel members have different issues and different needs and different initiatives that they want us to share with our members. Our board comprises of 25 top hoteliers, hotel general managers in all the different municipalities, as well as a group of allied members to include American Airlines and Boucher Brothers Water Sports. So it's a and of course Bill Talbert is on our board, as well as the city of Miami Beach too. So networking is big. Everybody wants to go to our hotels and see them. So monthly we do breakfasts in the hotels. We do the evening receptions, which the members love to go to. But one of the things that I think has been very productive for us is this month, and actually last week, we did a women general manager panel. We had 5 women that are general managers in hotels. It was at the Ritz-Carlton Coconut Grove, and we had a group of about 140 attend the event. And the advice and the leadership and their stories was really amazing. So it was a great networking of our allied members and our hotel members. We've done couples in hospitality. We brought in national speakers. We had Jonathan Tisch speak at my first annual meeting, and I'm going into my 3rd year, by the way, believe it or not.
Oh my God, time flies.
It's flying, yeah.
Wow,
it's flying.
It was like yesterday.
Yeah. And we had President Rosenberg from FIU last year, and we bring in national speakers. We had Faith Taylor from Wyndham Worldwide and Hervé Udre from Intercontinental, because our hotel members and our allied members like to hear what's going on nationally as well. We are the top city. We're the hottest city in the world. So we're in a very good place right now.
Absolutely, a great place. Now, if you can, for the listeners out there today that are in the industry or want to get involved, if you can just, in a very simple way, what really is in it for the members? What are the benefits that they will get? Obviously, they network and all that, but what are the key benefits of being a member of the association? Well,
I think through our communication and also our partnerships, because we have great partnerships, we give them, a lot of us get bogged down in our day-to-day work and what's going on in social media, which is very, very important. But we're building relationships. We have great relationships with FIU. I'm on the board of the hospitality school, Miami-Dade College, Miami Culinary Institute. I'm on that board. I'm on the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism board. All Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce board. So all of those relationships, everything that I do, I share with our members to give them the opportunity to also network and do business. There's nothing better than getting a call from a member looking for kitchen equipment, just to give you an example. And then I'll call one of our members and the deal is done. So we're really enhancing business. We're giving a lot of business opportunities to our members, but also education and all the issues that we're faced with as a growing municipality. They're becoming aware of, and they're understanding, and they're also very, very involved. Internship programs with the schools. They're teaching. They're educating. They have incredible leadership. I mean, imagine walking the kitchens of the Fontainebleau, hotel with the executive chef for these kids, and so it gives our members a great opportunity to be part of the growth of our destination.
Well, you're really well connected with the community, and you're doing a lot of advocacy for the industry as a whole, for its members, and today more than ever, any business that joins any organization is looking for that ROI. They are, more than ever, they are really scrutinizing that, and it is the challenge for any business association to step up,
right,
and really give them meaningful benefits and service them, and because it's not what it was 10, 15 years ago, where folks were joining every single organization on the planet. Now they're very, very focused, and you got to be very clear about what your value proposition is, and deliver on that.
There are a lot of organizations, and the good news about our organization is it is industry targeted, which is a thrill for me. It's an industry that I love, and we've really created some great partnerships. We're also, working very hard on the Miami Beach Convention Center. I think
Yes.
you all know that we were spearheading with the Visitors Bureau and the Chamber to get the beach penny tax voted, and it voted on. It was a yes, and we're very excited. So now we're working very closely with the City of Miami Beach and our partners to get the Miami Beach Convention Center project going. We're also supporting vote number 238, which is on the referendum for November. For the Sony Park, it's a huge project for our industry, and we support it. So we're getting the word out to all of our hotels through the HR directors and the voters.
In fact, I heard a little bit of that. I went to the Greater Miami Chamber luncheon last Wednesday, and they mentioned that the chamber itself is behind that.
Absolutely, and that's what's so great. I think about what you've been doing, what I've been doing, and our partners is we're all working together. If we may not agree on something, but we sit down and we talk about it, and we really it's a wonderful partnership for all of us.
That is the spirit of today, more than ever, is organizations partnering up with other like-minded organizations, and the spirit of partnership is, I think, more important than ever, because not one organization has all the answers, but if you can partner up and, my God, look at what they're doing, bring that to your specific group and vice versa, and also look at the greater good of the area, of the market. That can, at the end of the day, that's going to enhance everything we're all trying to do. If we become isolationist and we don't care about that, and we're just doing our own thing, we're going to miss opportunities, and we're going to do a disservice to our membership.
Absolutely. And, our competition is not, next door anymore. It's Dubai. It's South America. So we really need to continue to strengthen everything that we do together, i.e., we'll need to have a bay link. We'll need to have some sort of connection from downtown to Miami Beach over the next 10 to 20 years. It's very important, especially with the growth of what's happening downtown for us, for our industry and our businesses.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in your opinion, what are the challenges versus the opportunities for the industry as a whole in Miami-Dade County?
Well, I just talked about, of course, our competition, which is something that, we're very in tune with. The GMCVB has offices all over the world, so they're giving us all of the information that we need. I think that we're doing very well with the visa waiver program, and once that goes through, that could double our international business, especially Brazil, which is very exciting. Sustainability is a big issue.
Absolutely.
Our really most significant committee is our Hospitality Sustainable Council, and it's a great group because it comprises of representatives from the county, from the city, from the industry, as well as through education. And we work very closely with FIU to have interns go into our hotels. We have little hotels, we have 12-room hotels, we have independents, boutiques, historical, and then we have the giants. So we're working very closely with FIU for interns to go and do a survey, let them know how they're doing with sustainability and what they need to do, because that's truly going to be, and it is, a big interest for our visitors, for our meetings and our conventions. Education is big. We need to educate. We have great resources to educate the underserved communities. So we're doing work with Miami-Dade College and FIU to go into those underserved communities and educate those people that don't have jobs, and anywhere from an 18-year-old to a 50-year-old. We've got some great projects going because we are the number one industry in jobs. Imagine, Pete, we're the number one industry in jobs, where 35 years ago we were merely the sun and fun capital of the world, remember?
Oh, God, I remember well.
And it was seasonal, the summer was quiet. We don't have that anymore.
But we're still the sun and fun capital
of the
world.
I
think
absolutely.
At a whole different level and a lot more global
exactly.
in that sense there. So, as you know, I've had Bill Talbert on a couple times, and I think you guys are connected extremely well. Totally. Great friends, obviously. But what you do as a 1-2 punch for tourism and the whole industry here is second to none. And the expertise, knowledge, the passion that both of you bring to this industry is unbelievable. And I, from a personal perspective, I feel very lucky, and we all should feel very lucky to have both of you in our community doing what you do.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Another issue that I'd like to bring up that we are all working together on as well is our taxi cab industry, in the sense of the taxi cabs need to be updated. They need to have, all credit card machines and cute little videos in the back for promoting our destination when the guest arrives, customer service, the age of the cab. So you're going to see a lot more activity from our association, and other partners over the next year.
That is interesting. That is interesting because besides when you get to the airport and your interaction with the airport personnel, the first person you're going to have any sort of meaningful time with, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes, is that taxi cab driver.
Absolutely.
And that, I think, is a great initiative.
And we have a gorgeous airport. Look at the flights, look at everything that we have at the airport. So when you get outside, you get in that cab, you could have a fabulous conversation with your driver.
You really can. We're about out of time here, and I knew this was going to happen.
That's
of course.
Okay. That's
but
all
this
right.
gives me an excuse to bring you back to the show here. But what would you like to share with the listeners before we wrap it up today?
Well, I think that the most important thing to do is to reach out to us if you need help, if you need any information. We have a wonderful blog, gmbha.com/blog.php, where we really showcase daily what we're doing, and just let us know how we can help you, because we're in a great, as I said, we're in a great town, and we want to help you have a successful business.
Phone number? Is there a phone number you want to give out?
Yeah, 305-531-3553.
Terrific.
Thank you,
This is great.
Pete.
Wendy, thank you so much. It was well worth the wait here. I'm sure all of you would agree here.
Thank you.
So we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about property insurance with Dulce Suarez-Resnick, representing the LAAIA. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the Pete De La Torre Business Program Power Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and EuroSuites Hotel and Residences.
Hi, this is Pete De La Torre. Let me tell you about Euro Offices, Office Express Center. Private premium offices, workstations, and virtual offices located at EuroSuites Hotel and Residence, 1750 Northwest 107th Avenue. 1 minute from the Turnpike and Dolphin Expressway, fastest fiber optic internet, fully furnished, high-tech meeting rooms, valet parking. For more information, call 786-991-6716. Have you ever considered why so many Florida homeowners and business people look for an independent insurance agent for their insurance needs? We consumers appreciate real options with real choices that best fit our needs. We gravitate to those who understand our options and help make our decision a sound decision. So when we're making a decision that is really important to our family, our home, or business, people who value independence choose an independent agent from the Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies. The LAAIA is a 42-year-old nonprofit organization who strives for an insurance environment that is healthy for agents and fair for consumers by working on legislative, education, communication, and community support. They help the independent agent navigate the ever-changing waters of the insurance industry. For more information on the LAAIA, please call 305-477-1442. That's 305-477-1442. Or visit their website at www.laaia.com. In the heart of Miami, in the best location of the city, is EuroSuites Hotel and Residences, a favored hotel. EuroSuites Hotel and Residences is strategically located next to two major shopping centers, Dolphin Mall and Miami International Mall. Surrounded by numerous restaurants, this hotel is the obvious choice for your business trip or to spend a wonderful holiday with your family. EuroSuites has several amenities available during your stay, including European-style suites featuring a fully equipped kitchen to make you feel at home. EuroSuites has a fiber optic connection that gives you the best internet connection in town. Super quick, reliable, and free. Euro Suites Hotel and Residences has spectacular facilities with an exercise room, a pool area with a Miami Beach style and unique bar called Zili. Need to rent a car? No problem. For your convenience, you can book a rental at a reduced pricing directly in their lobby. For more information, call 786-472-9095 or send them an email at info@eurosuites.com. That's EUROSSUITES.com. And ask for Alex Ukiya. Make sure to mention that Pete sent you and receive 20% off the regular rate.
Welcome back to the Pete Delatorre Business Program Power Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and Euro Suites Hotel and Residences.
Okay, welcome back, my friends, to the Pete Delatorre Business Program Power Hour. And again, I want to thank Wendy Kalergis from the Greater Miami Beaches Hotel Association. So thank you so much, Wendy, and she is definitely going to be joining us again soon. Just a lot to talk about there. Now it is our segment, as we do every week, with one of our partners, the Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies. And today we have, again, another important VIP from that group that's going to be joining us here this morning. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's Dulce Suarez-Resnick, Vice President, Personal Lines for NCF Insurance. Lourdes has got all the titles in the world, AIS, CPIA, CPIW. She joined NCF Insurance Associates back in 2009, has over 27 years of insurance experience and specializes in personal lines and commercial habitation risk. She has accomplished quite a bit over the years. In addition to her day job, she is a consumer advocate, insurance educator, has been representing the LAAIA on the Citizens ART Committee since 2007, was appointed by then CFO Alex Singh to the Financial Literacy Council, served on the Florida Alliance on Hurricane Insurance, again, past president of the local chapter of the National Association of Insurance Women, and, of course, the LAAIA, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and has chaired the Legislative Committee on both, and therefore visits Tallahassee and Washington quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So as a spokesperson, and without further ado, she was once before on the show, on the phone, when we were getting a so-called threat by Isaac, and we had a good conversation. It was perfect timing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
I'm glad you're here. We got a lot of things that we want to talk about this morning here, but let's look at the kinds of, again, what are the kinds of policies that are offered by Citizen for both business and other commercial type risk?
Too many. For commercial residential risks, that includes apartment buildings and condominium associations. They cover what they call the multi-peril policy. They'll give them property coverage, only property coverage for those types of structures. The commercial non-residential risks, as they title them, are any type of business that is not habitation in any way. So your restaurants, your retail stores, things like that. And they give them, again, in that case, a full policy, but without any liability coverage. It's property, but it's business income and the structure coverage and extra expense, things like that, that any business would need. And that policy actually is the newest of all of the Citizens policies. That one came on the scene shortly after the 2004 and 2005 hurricane seasons, when there were a lot of companies that didn't want to give windstorm coverage even in Doral. So they had to come up with a program for that type of market and provide them with that kind of insurance. And of course, we all know the windstorm policies for businesses, and of course, homeowners policies that they provide to all of Florida.
Absolutely. Now, we've heard that Citizens has made changes, a lot of changes to the policies that they offer, and in some instances, they've even dropped some types of policies that they used to offer, correct?
Yep. Well, they have making changes since February 1st. And February 1st, March 1st, May 1st, we can't keep track of all the changes. The last change...
A moving target.
It's a moving target. The last change was September 1st. There's another group of changes coming, January 1st. but it's just constant. One of the policies that's actually very important for our economy today that they dropped was the builder's risk windstorm policy.
Wow.
And we're starting to have a small movement in real estate and in construction or renovations. And right now we're having an issue because we can't find wind coverage for either homes that are being renovated or buildings that are being built ground up. And it's causing a huge problem in South Florida. We've addressed the issue with Citizens, and they are thinking of bringing it back, but unfortunately they're only going to max out at $1 million, and that doesn't help with our commercial type risks or our larger residential homes that are under renovations.
For the benefit of the listeners that have heard of Citizens, who are they?
Citizens, I'm glad you asked, because Citizens is an insurance program. In the industry, we call it a residual market. It's a market that's been formed so that they can offer coverage to those that cannot find coverage. You'd be surprised how many people do not understand that Citizens is not a regular insurance company.
Right.
They really are not. They're an entity of the state that is basically a program, and it runs like an insurance company, but it is not.
Interesting. So that there's always a little confusion of who Citizen is, what they do. So this gives us, I think, clarity.
Clarity.
Yeah.
So another thing you have to understand is that because they're not a regular insurance company, they have a different structure, such as a regular insurance company has to buy a maximum number of reinsurance, or if not, they will lose their rating and they're considered not to be stable financially. Citizens buys reinsurance, but not to the same criteria, because they have the CAT fund from the state of Florida, and they have the ability to sell bonds to recoup funds and to assess its policyholders that a regular insurance company does not. And they're also tax exempt, where a regular insurance company is not. Exactly, they're a nonprofit. So a lot of people get confused. Some people think, at the last hearing that was here in Miami, a lot of people think that the taxpayers' dollars help run Citizens. No, the premiums that they collect run Citizens, the assessments that they charge on their policies, the bonds they sell, the CAT fund, things like that is what funds Citizens.
Interesting. So I think this is a great articulation of who and what they are there. Now, what should a business owner do who's insured with Citizens currently if they want to change or coverage or get coverage somewhere else?
Okay, that's a very good question, because with all these changes that are happening and coverage is being reduced or eliminated, for example, on a retail store or restaurant that had a Citizens package policy, they're going to now, effective October 1st, it just happened, going to delete the business income. So if you were a restaurant and let's say you had a fire and you're counting on your policy to pay for that loss of business for that time that you or closed down, that is no longer on your policy. And as it comes up for renewal, it will be deleted. The new policies that are issued, it will not be offered. So it's very important that people call their agents and say, listen, we know that there are a lot of changes. I'm sure the market has changed. It has. And can you please find me an alternate carrier that will give me wind coverage? Because that was the issue back then. I can't find hurricane coverage. I can find all other coverages, just not hurricane coverage west of I-95. So I would suggest that the consumer call their agent, ask them if they have an alternative. If they don't, I would shop it. There are many alternatives out there today. Thank God, knock on wood, we haven't been hit by a storm in almost 7 years, and that has made the market come back in the commercial side.
But all it takes is one.
You're absolutely right. All it takes is one, and all bets are off.
All bets are off.
One very important thing that for condominium associations, as you know, condominiums in the last few years have been having a hard time financially because of the number of foreclosures and things like that, and the cost of insurance has gone up for them. Whether you're in the private market or you're in Citizens. But now in Citizens, there's a few things that they need to keep an eye out for. Besides the rate increase that's coming, and people have to understand, all Citizens policies are mandated by the legislature to have a 10% rate increase. They have what they call the 10% glide path. So it doesn't matter that Citizens needs a 45% rate increase to be actuarially sound. They're going to get 10% regardless. And that, it's not whether they approve it or not. That's what OIR is going to give them, is no more than 10%. So they have to look out for the increase. They also have to look out for the fact that they're going to be looking at the type of occupancy. So you have, in the Keys, you have a lot of condos that are 12 units or 16 units or 20 units that, because of the nature of where they're located, during the winter season, they're rented out for a short period of time.
Right.
Well, they just changed the rule. If your building has 25% or more of that type of occupancy, which are the short-term rentals, you will no longer qualify for the Citizens Residential policy. You will only qualify for regular Citizens non-residential policy, and that changes the game because now you only have $1 million worth of coverage you could buy, where before you had the total replacement value of that structure. This is causing issues for people in the Keys and in extreme South Florida because they can't find coverage anywhere else.
Well, let me ask you then the magic question. There's so much to talk about regarding why would anyone get a policy with Citizens? What's is it? Price? Is it?
Sometimes it's price. Sometimes it's that they can't find it, and you have to understand that Citizens is really only 10 years old.
Right.
Citizens is a combination of the Florida RPCJUA, which was the Residential Property and Casualty Joint Underwriting Association, and the Florida Windstorm Underwriting Association. The Florida Windstorm Underwriting Association has been around since 1972, and the RPCJUA was open or enacted right after Hurricane Andrew. So it became active March 1st of 1993. So in the last 20 years, we haven't been able to fix the situation in getting the private market to come back and offer coverages.
Right.
And in 2002, Mr. Gallagher decided to dismantle those two and build Citizens instead to offer everything. Windstorm is our biggest issue.
Of course.
And you have to look at the state of Florida geographically. If you're in the 6 southern counties of the state of Florida, that's Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade, Monroe, Collier, and Lee, windstorm is your issue. Now, if you're in central Florida, and there's 16 counties that have been designated sinkhole counties, Hillsborough, Pasco, Pinellas, those counties there, their hurricane is actually sinkhole. So no insurance carrier wants to offer that kind of coverage. So you have 2 different geographic areas where Citizens is truly needed because there is no other market to offer certain coverages. Now, that being said, because of the 7 years of no storms, some carriers in the commercial side are starting to offer coverages here in South Florida. Homeowners associations today are going to feel a pinch. There are a few companies out there that were providing these homeowners association with the coverages for their common areas, which are your clubhouses, the pools, the cabanas, things like that. All of these are called special classes of property. And Citizens was offering the windstorm on that. Well, as of October 1st, Citizens is going to only offer coverage for the pools and those types of structures for condominium associations. So for the high rises, the homeowners associations are going to lose their windstorm policies for the fences and the tennis courts and the cabanas and the pools, all of that. So now what happens? If you're an HOA east of US 1 or in Miami Beach, you're not going to find, anyone who's going to insure. Key Biscayne, if you're in a homeowners association and you had those items of property covered by a windstorm policy, it's over.
Well, this is why you need experts like Dulce to really tell you the facts of and not only the facts, but to let you know that, by the way, changes are happening all the time.
All the time.
This isn't okay. We're set for the next year, for the next 2 years. This is like every month. There's a change, and you need to help like Dulce and other professionals that are involved in the industry, specifically with the LAIA. And I've had the pleasure of talking to many of them so far, and I know that we have more interviews coming up the next several weeks. But You need to get a hold of Dulce and talk about this. We're out of time here, and I knew this was going to happen here, but we need to continue. We got to do more and get into more in depth about this. But if one last thing that you want to share with the listeners before we close up.
I want the listeners to make their voices be heard. You know, I've been doing this for 27 years, so I was in this market before there ever was a Citizens. There seems to be a misconception up north and with our legislators that there are other alternatives down here when it comes to windstorm. Unfortunately, Citizens is the only company that sells a wind-only policy. And if you are a homeowners association, if you are a small business, if you are a general contractor that's trying to get back into business and get your people to work, and we're trying to fix the economy, you need to have your voices be heard, and you need to let them know that the only coverage that they should not tinker with or take away from us is the windstorm policy down here in the southern part of the state of Florida. And if you can do that, if you can send an email, make a phone call, walk over to your local legislator's office and say, guys, you're not helping our economy turn around by these changes. Right. That's the only thing that I can ask you to do for me, because I need your support as I go up there and talk to these people. They just say that they don't hear it from the public.
Well, that's a great closeout. What is the best way for the listeners to get a hold of you and have a question?
They can call me at the office, which is 305-446-5474, or you can email me at dresnick, RESNICK, at ncfins.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much. I
much.
really appreciate
Have a great
it.
day.
And you're definitely going to be coming back here. So.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're going to be going to a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk with Alex Urquilla from Euro Suites Hotel and Residence about that exciting gem in West Miami-Dade County. Be right back.
We'll be right back with the Pete Delatorre Business Program Power Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and Euro Suites Hotel and Residences.
Hi, this is Pete Delatorre. Let me tell you about Euro Offices, Office Express Center. Private premium offices, workstations, and virtual offices located at Euro Suites Hotel and Residence, 1750 Northwest 107th Avenue. 1 minute from the Turnpike and Dolphin Expressway, fastest fiber optic internet, fully furnished, high-tech meeting rooms, valet parking. For more information, call 786-991-6716. Have you ever considered why so many Florida homeowners and business people look for an independent insurance agent for their insurance needs? We consumers appreciate real options with real choices that best fit our needs. We gravitate to those who understand our options and help make our decision a sound decision. So when we're making a decision that is really important to our family, our home, or business, people who value independence choose an independent agent from the Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies. The LAAIA is a 42-year-old nonprofit organization who strives for an insurance environment that is healthy for agents and fair for consumers by working on legislative, education, communication, and community support. They help the independent agent navigate the ever-changing waters of the insurance industry. For more information on the LAAIA, please call 305-477-1442. That's 305-477-1442. Or visit their website at www.laaia.com. In the heart of Miami, and the best location of the city, is Euro Suites Hotel and Residences, a favored hotel. Euro Suites Hotel and Residences is strategically located next to two major shopping centers, Dolphin Mall and Miami International Mall. Surrounded by numerous restaurants, this hotel is the obvious choice for your business trip or to spend a wonderful holiday with your family. Euro Suites has several amenities available during your stay, including European-style suites featuring a fully equipped kitchen to make you feel at home. Euro Suites has a fiber optic connection that gives you the best internet connection in town, super quick, reliable, and free. Ural Suites Hotel and Residences has spectacular facilities with an exercise room, a pool area with a Miami Beach style and unique bar called Zili. Need to rent a car? No problem. For your convenience, you can book a rental at a reduced pricing directly in their lobby. For more information, call 786-472-9095 or send them an email at info@uralsuites.com. That's EUROSSUITES.com and ask for Alex Ukia. Make sure to mention that Pete sent you and receive 20% off the regular rate.
Welcome back to the Pete Delatorre Business Program Power Hour. Sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and Euro Suites Hotel and Residences.
Okay, welcome back, my friends, to the last part of the Pete Delatorre Business Program's Power Hour for a Wednesday morning, October 10th, 2012. Again, I want to hear from all of you. My Twitter account is Pete Radio Show. My email is info@PeteRadioShow.com, and the phone number here is 305-541-2350. And again, I want to thank Dulce Suarez-Resnick from NCF Insurance, and of course, a very important member of the LAAIA, one of the partners of the radio show, with great information on citizens insurance and other ideas regarding property insurance. Now it is my pleasure to bring onto the show a gentleman here who's full of life and excitement. He is the front desk manager at Euro Suites Hotel and Residence in West Miami-Dade County. By the way, they're located at 1750 Northwest 107th Avenue. It's two tall towers that are connected in the middle by a beautiful lobby, a pool. It's just a great location, and very excited to have Alex on the show. Good morning, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, Pete, for having me in your show. I really appreciate having here and answer all the questions you have for us here.
Oh, well, we'll be nice and easy. We won't.
Please.
If you could, in like 1 minute, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Venezuela, but I always wanted to be in the hotel industry, and that's why I went to school at in Michigan, hospitality school. And I remember my first job as an internship was the first five-star hotel, Troy Marriott, in Troy, Michigan. So that's I've been in the business for 20 years, more or less, and I have worked in several hotels around the world, like Venezuela and here in the States, and in five-star hotels. So that's been my career in the hotel business.
Yeah, we had a good conversation the other day, and you have a longevity in the industry, which I know brings now a lot of value to the whole team at Euro Suites. And speaking of that, tell us a little about Euro Suites Hotel and Residence. Again, we know where it's located, and how long has the hotel been open?
The hotel has been offered for 2 years. I mean, it's a great concept because it's a condo hotel, and we do have like the one side resident and the other side hotel, and we offer great amenities into the hotel. This is our condo apartment suites,
right?
1 and 2 bedroom apartment suites, which is great for families. And the great thing is that we are located in the West Miami Airport. It's surround a lot of businesses, and it's great for now to the corporate people that actually is coming to that area.
Well, the thing is that the hotel is actually in the middle of 2 big shopping malls. You have Dolphin Mall to the west, you have Miami International Mall across the street, and combined, if I'm not mistaken, there are more annual shoppers with both of those malls combined than any other mall in South Florida.
That's true, and we are a member actually from the Dolphin Mall.
Right.
So it's great. We offer packages also combined with the Dolphin Mall, and that you can find it on our website, and it's great, affordable, and people loves it. I mean, we have actually a lot of people that have come through with that packages, and some others that we offer as well.
Now, the facility has many amenities. It's got a beautiful lobby, a beautiful pool area on the 3rd floor. There's also some individual executive offices there. I happen to have my office there, and Euro offices, and close to 400 suites. I mean, they range in sizes, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the largest of its kind in West Miami-Dade County. More rooms than the hotel there. So it's ideal destination for the corporate traveler. The service, the amenities, the fully equipped suites with kitchens and everything. And this leads me to talk very briefly about a special VIP reception that we're doing next Tuesday in the main lobby.
That's true.
On the 16th. And tell me a little bit about what's going to happen there.
Well, Pete, we're trying to work a lot with the corporate companies, and this is a great opportunity for a lot of companies to interact. And great place for a great moment for a lot of what we called well, like public relations,
Right.
And it's by invite. You can give us a call, and we can put you on a list. And our telephone numbers here at the hotel is 786-472-9095, or you can email us at or you can find more information of your suite at www.eurosuite.com.
And it's Euro Suites, two S's, right?
Two S's, right.
Right, which makes it a little bit unique there. And yeah, this event is catered towards large corporations that are in the area, West Miami-Dade County, Doral, Sweetwater, that have corporate travelers, business travelers that come through, and they're looking for a nice place to call home for a week or a handful, 4 or 5 days. All the amenities are there. And also, any travel agent that is listening out there today that specializes in corporate travel, and they have a lot of business in that Doral, West Miami-Dade County area, this could be a great location because it's just right off the turnpike at 836.
In 15 minutes to the airport. That's a great location because it's right actually off of 836 Expressway.
Right.
It's very easy access. And another thing that I want to make a point of, we offer corporate housing for all this company with a minimum stay of 3 months, and those are great apartment suites. And another great amenity that we have is they're copper free. It's all marble floors and wood floor, which is we are into the eco type of environment. We call the green environment. And we also have to all those. The great thing of those suites are very European style.
Yes.
Which is make it very more attractive, to our travelers.
Need you Euro Suites.
Euro Suite.
It is a unique destination, my friends, and again, it's the environment. It makes you feel like you're definitely on vacation. You feel like
it's a little bit of South Beach on the West Miami Airport.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, and we open up also a sky bar we call Silish, and
right.
And we are right now into. Getting a very light bites for the people that want to visit, and also we started with sushi, a sushi bar.
Right, you have happy hour starting, I think, every day at 5 p.m.
Yeah, every day at 5 p.m. Actually, starting on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, my friends, if you're listening here, you want to check it out again. Give Alex a call again. One more time. What's the number, Alex?
Is 786-472-9095.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. We're going to get you back periodically, but again, we have this beautiful event coming up next Tuesday. And if you have more information, you can call me directly, 305-490-2348. Alex, thanks a lot, my friend.
Thank you, Pete, for having me here again.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Now we're going to turn over and bring on a very good friend of mine, a lady who is just a great community person and has had her own personal battles, but she is a true testament of courage and determination. And I'd like to introduce now to the show Bibiana Sarmon, who is part of the board of American Cancer Society. How are you this morning?
Very good, thank you, and thank you for having me here today.
No, it's a pleasure, and we kind of pulled this off at the last minute here, but this is important. Now, there is going to be an event this weekend that I want you to share with the audience.
Yes, the event is the American Cancer Society Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. It's a Florida initiative for the second year. Our theme is Put on Your Pink Bra to show solidarity with all the women.
This is for women, guys,
yes.
Okay?
Well, actually, no. Last year we had a whole bunch of men who were supporting their mothers, their sisters, their friends, and they also wore the pink bra in support of...
I'm just thinking that's got to be
absolutely
It's
fantastic.
hilarious.
But it was really awesome because this is a celebration of life. This is an event full of music and food and laughter. And it really what it is to bring awareness to the importance of early detection and prevention of cancer, breast cancer. Breast cancer will affect 1 of every 8 women in their lifetime. And it's the cause of most deaths here in of cancer. And in Florida, unfortunately, our Hispanic population has even a higher incidence of being diagnosed with breast cancer. So we want to bring awareness to the importance of going every year and having your test done if you are 40 or older, or if you have family history. Also, I want to share with you, Pete, that men also get breast cancer.
That is true.
And it's so important that we get informed and that we get educated. Cancer right now, it's not a death sentence. It's something that it's a monster, but we can battle it, we can win, and we can definitely fight it. And with all the treatments and all the new technology that we have and all the breakthroughs for cancer intervention, cancer prevention, cancer cure, and quality of life, we have been able to, it's so much different. It's a world apart from 20 years ago when you got that diagnosis.
It's really incredible. Tell us very quickly, the event is this Saturday, correct?
The event is this Saturday. It's at Tropical Park. It's Saturday 13 at Tropical Park. People can start registering at 7:30 a.m. The walk will begin at 9 a.m. It's in Tropical Park, and it's a 5-kilometer walk.
Non-competitive, right?
No, non-competitive. People don't have to walk if you don't want to. You can just walk a little bit or whatever it is that you want. And again, if you need more information, you can always go to putonyourpinkbra.com/Miami.
That's great. And what phone number can they call if they want to get involved?
Well, the phone number, I'll give it to you in just 1 second.
If I'm not mistaken, it is 305-779-2858. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, that is
Okay.
the one. And thank you for bringing it up. Again, as you know, I have battled cancer myself. And I have come from a long history of family being diagnosed and even losing some the battle. But that's why the more that we need to get together and fight together this disease until we can get rid of it for everyone.
That is terrific. And again, it's this Saturday morning, October 13th, 7:30 a.m. is the registration. The walk starts at 9. Non-competitive 5K at Tropical Park, and again, making strides against breast cancer. And of course, we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So thank you so much, Bibiana, for this information. We've all been affected. My mom had it. Rest her soul, rest in peace, and we kind of went through that. So we're all affected in one way or another. So thank you so much for alerting us to this here. Well, my friends, that is it for an October 10th of the Pete Della Torre Business Program. I got to thank all my guests in the second hour, Wendy Colerges, Dulce Suarez Resnick, of course, Alex Uquilla, Bibiana Sarmon, and all the guests from the first hour. Again, we do this every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. here on 880 AM The Biz, the only all-business radio station in South Florida. We also talk about community events as well that touches all of our lives, as you can tell, regarding this event Saturday. So thank you so much for listening, all of you. Hey, we're 27 days away from the elections. So whoever you're supporting, and get out there and vote, okay? Everyone has to exercise their right to vote. 27 days, okay? Tuesday, November 6th. So thank you for joining us. Make it a great, profitable week. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Pete Della Torre Business Program Power Hour. Tune in again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. for more of the Pete Della Torre Business Program. The Pete Della Torre Business Program is sponsored by Community Newspapers, Latin American Association of Insurance Agencies, and Euro Suites Hotel and Residences.